to finish the whole process, book and your life?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So this book, I had to cut it off at some point because I was just like, oh, I want to keep writing because I feel like this is a continuous story. And then at some point, I just decided to cut it off and finish it. And so I sat on it for a while. Like after I completed it, I didn't really do anything with it, and then decided to publish it. And so I started kind of looking for publishers or looking for options. And I didn't know a whole lot about publishing. So I just went with a self-publishing company of a larger publisher. If you have a Bible, it's either published by Thomas Nelson or Zondervan. Those are like the two biggest Christian publishers. Well, my book was published under Thomas Nelson Publishing. My hair journey has been very interesting. So it really like, I think anytime you choose to just be confident in yourself and like be who you are, you automatically change and become like a more confident person. And so for me, my hair journey was sort of the catalyst to get me to be more confident. I think over the last probably, I would say 5 to 6 years, I've done other things too to like just be more of who I am. I think my hair is just now kind of an extension of that. But there are lots of other things now that I have in my life that I pay attention to in terms of making me a better person. So I ultimately, and I like a lot of people in the natural hair community, you know, we call them natural hair Nazis. Like I'm not a natural hair Nazi in that I feel like, oh, everybody should be natural and you don't need to relax your hair, sister, and you don't need to wear that weave. I mean, that's just not me. People have to do what's good for them. But I would say I always ask people why. Like why won't you wear your hair natural? Why won't you be who you are? And sometimes it is because we are dealing with like low self-esteem. I mean, yeah.
In that regard, that's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Why was your hair ever relaxed?
Well, because I begged my mama to do it, and
Yeah.
and that's in the beginning. So my mom actually asked me. Well, I was in 5th grade when I got my hair relaxed, and my mom was like, I don't want to do this. You don't need to relax your hair. You're fine the way you are. And I was like, no, mama, I'm tired of getting teased because I had really long hair and my mom would braid it. And so the kids would call me Medusa. Like, kids are so mean. But they would like call me Medusa and be like, oh, you got snakes growing out your head. And my mom would say, oh, they're just jealous. That's every parent tells their kid that. But none of us ever believe it, but it's true. And so she's like, look at the girls that's teasing you. They probably wish their hair was as long as yours and as healthy as yours, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, mama, I just want to relax. I want it straight. I want my bangs. Like back in the day, we had sponge rollers and we would roll that bang up and like pull it apart. I mean, that was the look. And that's what I wanted. And so my mom did it. She said, I was
just asking because you're so much younger than I. I mean, I grew up when, nobody, except Nina Simone maybe, wore their hair natural.
Yeah.
And I'm 68. I've been wearing a natural since 1967. So 50 years. And actually, wow. I went back and had my hair straightened in 1968. The reason I did that, I was fully committed to being natural, but maybe not enough. My former college roommate was getting married, and this is a white woman. She had not seen me in a year and a half, and even though I'd agreed to be her bridesmaid, I said, oh, I don't want to ruin this day for her. She probably wouldn't have asked me if she knew I was wearing, and so, I mean, no, she said nothing to me. I chose that route myself, but since then, I've never had my hair relaxed or straightened or I've worn it in many different natural styles, including locks for, just before this, I had locks 3 different times and I cut them off and go on to something else. But when I did it, I just found it freeing, and I'm lazy anyway. I didn't want to go through what you have to go through to have your hair relaxed and looking good all the time. But like you say, I'm not a hair Nazi. I mean, I think women can do whatever they want. But for me, it works.
Do you think your friend would have cared about your hair?
I don't think she would. I think that was in me, but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Cause she, you know, when I told, you know, and she got married in like the whitest of white suburbs outside of Minneapolis, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need to get my. And so we went to a restaurant, and I'm like looking around. There's nobody in here, you know, who looked like me. But I went to the kitchen. I said, I know there's somebody black in this kitchen. You know, I can taste it in the food. Somebody's and in fact, there was, and so I asked that woman, you know, where I could go to get my hair straightened, and I'm talking about hot press.
Yeah.
Now, she told me, and I had my friend take me there, and as we were driving, you know, it's kind of a skanky neighborhood. She said, Millicent, you could see my stylist. You don't have to go here, whatever. You know, I think she was afraid for me, but nothing happened. It was fine. You know, she just wasn't used to, you know, people having a shop in their homes and that sort of stuff. It worked, but I don't think she ever would have asked me to. But at the same time, you know, she was getting married, and I was happy for her. I didn't want her. She only had 2 bridesmaids. I didn't want her to say that navigating woman ruined my wedding, you know. So.
Right.
But right after that, I mean, even before I came back home, I washed it out, and it was, you know.
That's how I am. If I ever get my hair straightened, I'm like, nope, this is not it. Interestingly, like to your point though, I think when I first went natural, and I think it's a lot better now because it's more prevalent and more accepted, but I think I had more negative comments from people who look like me than I did from people who don't. So I think a lot of times it's just kind of that self-hatred, and then also like, you know, feeling like it, even the word, when we use the word, it's not appropriate, right? So I'll tell you, like, while I was unemployed, you know, I was applying for jobs. And I was also applying for PhD programs because I was like, well, if I don't go back to work, I'll go to school. And so I was applying for jobs everywhere. I was just like, if I could just work at Starbucks.